Good morning, everyone. There's that old quote that says, if I knew how wonderful grandchildren were, I would have had them first. In this week's Parsha, Yaakov Avinu is on his deathbed, and Yosef, his son, brings him his two children, Yaakov's grandchildren, Ephraim and Manasseh, to receive a blessing. And Yaakov says very touching and moving words. He says to Yosef, Ra'o panecha lo falalti. I never dreamt that I would ever see your face again, after I thought you were killed by a wild animal. Vehine hara lokim gam mezarecha. Not only did I live to see your face, Yosef, but God allowed me to see my grandchildren. I never thought I would see you, let alone to see grandchildren. And at that point, he presents his two children, Ephraim and Manasseh, to receive a blessing from their grandfather, their elderly grandfather on his deathbed, who's 147 years old. And we all know the story that Yosef arranges the kids, that the older child, which was Manasseh, should get the right hand, the younger child should get the left hand. But what does Yaakov do? He crosses his hands, and he puts his right hand on the younger child, on Ephraim. And Yosef says, Daddy, Father, he is the older one. Why are you putting your hand on the younger child? And what Yosef was saying is, please, let's not go down this road again. We had enough family feuds over jealousy of siblings. Please don't inject this into my children by giving the younger child a greater blessing. And Yaakov says, I know, my son, I know. And he says, I know twice. Yodati bini yodati. I know he's the older one, and I know what you're saying. I understand your concerns. However, I insist on giving the greater blessing to the younger child, because while Manasseh will be great, Ephraim will be even greater. And may all Jewish children all Jewish parents bless their children, that they should be like Ephraim, the younger child, before Manasseh. And 3,600 years later, at Friday night Shabbos tables around the globe, kids line up, boys, and they receive a blessing from their father. And what does the father say? These words, may God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh. And the question is, why did Yaakov insist on giving the right hand, the superior blessing, to the younger child? And this becomes the mantra till today, that parents bless their children, boys, to be like Ephraim, the younger child, before Manasseh. You know, if you ask someone their name, they tell it to you. Imagine if you ask someone their name and you say, what's your name? And they say, I don't know. That would sound very bizarre, right? Well, there was one person in history that if you asked him his name, he said, I don't know. And you know who that is? Oh, I'm sorry, if they say, I don't remember. What's your name? I don't remember. Who is that? Manasseh. Why? Because what does Manasseh mean? Manasseh means to forget. Why did he name his older son Manasseh? Because he said, God allowed me to forget all my suffering, all my travails, all my hardship in the house of my father. That was why Yosef named him Manasseh. So Manasseh means to forget. I don't remember. Why did he name him Manasseh? Because he was saying, I don't remember all the hardships of my house. What was he saying? He was saying, not that I don't remember. Of course, he had a good memory. He remembered. He's saying is, I remember what happened, but I don't remember the pain. I've let go of the hardship, the suffering, the agony, the misery of my childhood, what my brothers did to me, and the whole story of the suffering of the ensued slavery, imprisonment, and everything I went through. I'm past it. I've transcended it in my life. Manasseh, I could forget it. I don't remember it anymore. I don't carry that pain anymore. When he had a second child, he took it to the next level. He said, now I realize not just that I was able to let go of my pain and suffering, but Ephraim, God has made me fruitful. Ephraim is from the word fruitful, in the land of my misery and suffering. Not only did I let go of the pain of my past, but I realize now that the pain of my past led me to a much greater stage, to a fruitfulness that I could have never achieved had I not been put through these challenges and struggles of my life. You know, in Torah it says you're not allowed to get a tattoo, right? What's the difference between getting bruised and getting a tattoo? Bruised is you got injured and then it heals. Tattoos means it's permanent. Sometimes people get emotionally bruised. We all get emotionally bruised, but it heals a day, a week, a month. We forget about it. You know, someone hurt you, someone offended you, you're over with. But sometimes you get a tattoo. You carry it for the rest of your life. And the Torah says you're not allowed to get a tattoo. Yes, you may get hurt, you may go through pain, but you have to know how to heal. And that was the first stage. The first stage was where Yosef said, I let go of it. I'm not tattooed by the incidents of my life. I'm not going to carry it till my dying days. The second stage was, no, not only was it not a tattoo, it wasn't even a bruise. It led me to a greater place in my life. And that's why Yaakov says, perhaps, I'm going to put Ephraim before Menashe. Because in life you have to remember, not just to try to surely you have to try to let go of the pain of the past. Menashe, forget it. Let it go, say. Let go and let God, leave it to God. But even more, learn how to take the challenges of your life and turn them into opportunities like Yosef did. Ephraim, Elokim Beres, Ani, the land of my affliction, turned out to be my fruitfulness and my blessings. I'll tell a story about a king who had this very precious diamond. And somehow there was a cut, a scratch that appeared on the diamond. And the king was very disappointed. This beautiful diamond was now ruined with this scratch on it. And he called different jewelers. Nobody knew how to fix it. Finally, this artist came along and said, give it to me. And what he did was he took the cut diamond, the scratch diamond, and he continued to engrave a beautiful flower out of it. He made that into the stem and created a beautiful flower. And he made the diamond even more beautiful than it was before. And the point is, we have to learn how to take the bruises, the scratches, the challenges, like Yosef did, and say, Ephrani, it is precisely those challenges that turned into the greatest opportunities and the greatest blessings in my life, just like in the story of Yosef. And when you bless your kids to be like Ephraim and Menashe, that's what you're telling your kids. My child, there will be hurts in life. First of all, remember that they're bruises. You get over them. The blessings of a skinned knee, as they say. You grow up, and that's part of the growth of life. But even more than that, never let it become a tattoo. But even more than that, learn how to take the bruised knee and turn it into a blessing. You'll fall, you'll get scraped, but remember, you'll be stronger and get up even stronger than before.